I really think if you care about someone, you can continue to reconnect with them. Um, and if and as that be, as that and as that's the case, commitment is a different thing to me. But as far as like people you care about and you haven't made a previous commitment to, you can continue to reconnect with them. And I think Star and Marco have that. Um, Star and Marco. So I want to talk to the shippers out there. So I'm both in the Jackie and Star ship. Like, com- like if it could be, if it exists between them two, that it should be like that. I think Star and Marco. If they, I'm happy for. I really love like watching them and seeing those moments and things like that. But honestly, like I've looked at their like I can't make heads or tails of it. Honestly, it's just Star Marco. Excuse me, Marco is like he's like yeah I really am definitely your friend Star. But if there's anything more than that, I'm really not sure how to make heads or tails of it. If you've seen season two or the end of season, which I'm assuming you have, I don't see how you could see season one or even just watch this video in general. Like, but season one. But Marco is Marco is un he cares a lot, but I'm not sure where he's going. I mean, well, he's not going anywhere. I mean, going anywhere with that. Like, he doesn't have like a motive and a he genuinely cares about Star. He's not doing it to like gain points or something like that. But I think from the very first day, if you look at the very first episode, you can see him and you can see him and Star, and you can see that that it just Star definitely like I think she saw Marco and well not even I don't know if it was instinctively like she knew this at the time. I think later she came to this realization. But Star definitely felt like she was accepted with from Marco more than anyone else, and I think she really found a best friend. And whether or not that would be a relationship or anything, I don't know. Honestly, it honestly could turn out that Jackie and Marco might be together. For high school time. I don't know. It's hard to say how anything will turn out in Star versus Force of Evil. I mean, spoiler, I'm gonna spoil you with something that happens in an episode. Um, Marco, he ages and and then reverses back, but he spent like 16 years doing. I want to see an episode like talking about that or just reflecting that. But then again, you are who you are at pretty much at that point at your life and your age, and well, I mean, there's disagreements, and that's not true for everybody. Blah blah blah. But he is just basically the same person, and he should be. I mean, people shouldn't. I think people if they changed from 15 to 27 then that's probably they were probably lying to who they thought they were at some point and then started to show who they really are. So it's more of like them hiding themselves and then bringing themselves out. Not to say that they're bad people or wrong or something. I'm just saying that some people are more reluctant to be themselves. And me, I've always personally I've continue to be more myself without hiding it, but I've always continued to be frustrated with like different parts of my life of different people and trying to communicate what I think and who I am to people and it's more about me, so I'll leave off with this that more as more of as I've aged more, I've learned not learned. I've embraced more and more of who I am because of various things. Um, and it's gonna, it's gonna sound, a little weeboo-ish, if that's okay of a word to say. But it's like anime also, is something that helped me, and it's, it's one of the many things, but part of my life that, just kind of said, okay, you know, I guess I like this. Why do I like this? Okay, I've accepted that I like this, why I've liked this, and I've discovered a little, not even discovered, just accepted that if this is a part of me, then that's okay to be. But anyways, more on that maybe another day. So Star versus the Force of Evil. Um, I could do really great rhythms. I don't know. I can do it right now. Ponyhead. I thought for a long time, and I still kind of think that Ponyhead's people have like their bodies are in like a different dimension. This is just like a theory, but their bodies are in a different dimension. They aren't just but it's because they don't want to, extend out their full power. Like I think Ponyhead, I think she has magic that she can use through her horn, but I think that's like, it's just an outlet for her power. And I think her people disconnect the rest of their body just to hold themselves back, just to limit their, their own power. I want to say Ponyhead. Like, I just want to talk about maybe each character a little bit. Well, not every character, but Ponyhead. I don't know. She kind of bothered me in like a sassy kind of, certain kind of, person. No. I can't say that. So there's a gender and a race that might apply to Ponyhead of a stereotype that is really sassy and neck wavy and stuff. Anyways, and that's why I automatically thought of a Ponyhead. And I don't know. I can't say like I love who Ponyhead is, but I mean I'm definitely cool with her now as a character. Like she's shown me the best and worst, and I've grown to like her. So. Um, but she's really well. I don't know. She's funny too, because she's like, I don't know. I thought I said that. Or I can't remember like an instance really. Um, man, but she is like, she can be like really just um not considerate of a lot of people, and just that's really funny too. There's other things about her. I'm just trying to remember specific things. So I said the non-consideration because I'm thinking of like a lot of instances where she's like, oh yeah, let's let him die. Like what? I mean, let's let him live. I don't know. She an example. She didn't say that, but I'm, I'm talking about. Or maybe you don't, and we'll just sit here. So what is it? Ponyhead. I like Marco's family. His family is really caring and they really like each other. His mom and his dad. Uh, I don't remember their names. I remember that one episode was, I think the last episode of season 1. She's like, she's explaining to the cop that Marco got kidnapped by Ludo and his forces and stuff. And he's like, she's like, and he leaves. The cop leaves, and Star's like, "I told you he wouldn't get it." And Marco says like, "We don't get it either." Like, they're all mad and stuff. I don't know, it's just funny, but it's really kind of, it's curious. Not to say there's anything like sketchy going on, but I've never like seen a family that's so willing to adopt so frequently like that. Um, or something too. Um, but I don't know. I've never been a surrogate fan. I think they like the idea of. I'm not sure. I mean, there is like a small amount of money you can get for it, but honestly, it's like it's not that even it's not worth it. Like you could get money in other ways, so it's like there has to be like kind of a thought process that goes along with that. But they have, and there's the other episode where they did show that they've housed other foreign persons before. I'm just not sure what that's about. I think they really like people. So I mean, they seem like people persons. But they don't really connect with a lot of people too well. Not too often. And that's not. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see like people at their house. I think they invited some family for dinner once, and they're sort of, you know, adult friends with the Star's last name. Star's last name. Star Sapphire. I know that's not it. That would be too cool. If that was her last name. Star Butterfly with the butterflies. I guess with the butterflies. Um, let's see. Hmm. I don't know. In royalty, I think that works differently. That if you get the same last name as if you were like the queen, because that's how I think it worked. Is that Star's mom is the princess, and then she married Star's dad, who was like just a guy. I think maybe of like some line of family, but not you know royalty of Muni. So, ah. Anyways, oh, Star's mom. I just want to talk about her. So there's a Star vs. Force of Evil comic. I forget what it's called, but it has to do with Ponyhead goes to jail and then she has to go to trial and stuff and blah blah and stuff happens and they go back in time and spoil. Well, spoil? No, not really. That's a spoiler. 'Cause they go back in time. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I guess it is. I'm sorry if it is. But they go back in time, or they go back to a version of a like I don't know if the. It's hard to say what exactly happened, but so they go back in time, and they see Star's mom, and you see Star's mom, and you see her interaction with, and see kind of her doing something, and Marco and Star get involved, blah blah. But Star's mom, I always thought I was sympathized with her. I said, oh, she's all, uptight like that. Not that she's so bad. I mean, she's really not, but she is kind of uptight, and I'm like, yeah. But I mean, it's not a problem. It's just not something I'd prefer. That's all. Um, Not uptight like that. She's just, but she's, if anything, she can be really like cool. She can be really open to like Star and all her stuff and things she wants to do. And she's cool with them. She lets Star have like a relative freedom a lot of times. She's a little harder on her when she feels she needs to be, but I think she's her heart's there. But you see in the comic, this is her when she's like 13. She's just like, well, almost sort of, just like how she is now. And I was like, so you've always been this way. It's not like, years of taking their toll, or you've constantly been bred to be this queen. Like your hair is rolled up every day, and you're told to act a certain way. And that probably kind of was the case to an extent when she was younger, but still, like her personality is that she is someone who is definitely okay with being queen. Like it wasn't definitely as bad as her to her as it is to like Star or other princesses who, become a queen and have had to live a certain lifestyle and a mindset and things like that. Um, so I don't know, it was funny. Um, Star Marco. I like Marco. He's cool. Um, I mean, there's a lot of things I like about Marco. He don't. I don't know. Yeah. I don't. What's needed for him? I don't know. Like in a mini adventure. He did go on a kind of mini adventure, but I don't know. His personality doesn't like scream out loud at you and say, "Oh, this is definitely a Marco kind of guy." He reminds me of myself a little bit, really. In ways I have to explain in another video, but um, He's a hoodie wearing safe guy who's constantly putting these adventure problems, and it's kind of cool with that. I think the laser, the laser pup. I'm sorry, sorry about the flashes camera, but the laser puppies. I literally thought they would go away. Like they were just never talking about it again. Like a lot of the spells that come out of Stars One. Um, well, the effects of those spells. Although you really see that the effects are like there. Like turn somebody into a goblin or a troll, then they stay a goblin or a troll. Like the teacher, I think she's I want to say a goblin. Yeah, I was saying ogre too, but I think she's a goblin. I don't know, but yeah, the laser puppies. It's just funny how they're still there and they're puppies and. I don't know if I want there to be a time skip, but I don't really. But I just want there to be more episodes, and then maybe well, there is time that is going. Like there are events that it's definitely obvious that there is um, time progressing here. So Jackie, I just want to talk about Jackie. I like Jackie's look. She dyes her hair a little insecure. No, I'm just kidding. But she, Jackie's cool. I definitely see. I think a lot of the ways that Mark reminds me of me, because I don't like to admit well, no, I'm cool with identify if think I identify with the character, like, because I do, because I don't know, I just like I know I am, and I can see myself in that person. It's like yeah, we've been each other sort of. But Jackie's like a girl. I know I've had a crush on a girl just like Jackie before, and I've kind of pursued girls sort of like Jackie. She's kind of quiet. She's not quiet like she doesn't say anything without like a purpose. Not to say other girls just talk talk talk, but it's like she she chooses her words and doesn't say them to anyone without any meaning behind them. So for her to say anything is kind of a big deal. It's just not that she's shy or reserved. It's just that it's hard to say. I've never been able to describe that, and that's a trait that I've, you know, had throughout. Well, I've had, or other girls that I've experienced in sort of ways that I've had. Sometimes, anyways, it's complicated. Different girls, different worlds. So much. There's so little time, so I'm gonna try to get to the point. Yeah, Jackie's cool. But some people complain, oh, she's just a skateboard chick. She doesn't get a lot of time or lines. Like, what is she supposed to do? And Star might seem like this extravagant. I mean, but if you get down to the core of Star, I mean, not to say people aren't interesting and different, but it's like the thing about Star, who she is. I don't want to say her character because I don't want to take her, put her and write notes and dialogue and just think of, like, I want to pretend in a way that just the universe I'm watching, but and somewhere else it exists. That kind of mentality when I'm thinking about these things. But Jackie doesn't get a lot of lines, and she really only gets those lines through being Marco's crush. And the only thing I can say about Jackie is, and this is a little harsh. It's probably because I get so little time and I want to have at least one description of her, but she's kind of a pervert. She is though. I mean, she is because I don't know. She just seems not really, not really. That's probably the wrong. If anything, I don't know. Sort of. Please take that with like the grainiest of salt. No, the grain of salt, because she uh she's progressing this relationship with or without Marco. In season 2. I don't know. There's a lot of spoilers here. Get out if you haven't seen the show. And sh Marco he's kind of going along with it, and it's just that I think Jackie's trying to get to a certain point. I don't just say I'm just saying, will we see that happen in Star Wars 42? Who knows? Nah, that'd be a first for Disney. I'll tell you what, it really would be it'd be a first as far as to my knowledge, but except with John Carter. You watched that movie, John Carter, I think John something. All right, see ya.